In this video, you can check out the installation of a Kraus Oletto faucet. Also, pay attention to the fact that I did not do my preparation, and I should have fixed that drain before any of this ever happened. With any luck, today is going to be the last day of this.
Like literally just crazy. And then doing.
Given the joy of having no sink, I think today's job is to put in the sink. We have the clips. There's a sink we're reusing, and this faucet. This faucet needs to get installed. This is the Kraus Oletto single handle pull down kitchen faucet. And I watched their video online about how to install it, so now we'll read these directions and move forward. Starting with a bead of silicone around the putty plate. Then this goes down onto here. I gotta use two hands for that though. This guy goes down through here with the word front to the front. And I'm gonna pop a little more silicone on here and then clean it up a little bit. Alright, I've grouped more silicone on there, and now I'm just gonna clean up my mess. This is the stuff that dries clear. I'm gonna insert this long hose through this smaller hole in there. Well, something in here should make a good tripod. Let's see. There's an arrow. Let's see. Do what with it? I need to figure this one out. Somehow I feel like I got this backwards. I think they mean that's the arrow. I think. Okay, now next page. Thread hot and cold water lines on the angle starts with the F. What about secure this dang faucet so it doesn't move around? Oh, whoops. I missed this step. If we secure all this shit first. Go back. Now I was supposed to tighten these two screws before doing any of this tube inserting. Well, that makes a fair amount of sense to do that. Now I need, of course, to refigure this, that it's properly lined up to the front, and then the front and the front. This is all making a lot more sense now. Yes, a lot of the time it takes me a couple tries to get things right. Okay. That's secure. Now I can go about redoing this thing. Well, the rest of it I need to do when it's attached to the thing. So here it is, the new faucet on the old sink. Alright, first I gotta get ready by removing my covers over the drains. And since I'm down here, I might as well do this steel wool project now too. So the idea behind the steel wool is you want to take some coarse steel wool, grade 3, and stuff it down into these holes in order to keep mice from coming up. This had been done at the factory originally. The stuff that was in here was pretty well rusted in place. We're going to assist me with the stuffing. There it is, it's pretty well stuffed. Now I'm going to move on to these guys. Now these two are stuffed up. Ready to bring the sink in. And of course, when I go to put the sink in, I decided to take a look at this, say, hey, you know, how's this guy doing? I'm like, oh, it's kind of old and rusty. But maybe it's fine. And then I look over here and it's like, oh, this one is not old and rusty like that. And it has this seal right here. This other lip. I wonder, should I be getting a new drain over here? If so, it's going to need a little connector over to the dishwasher. I realized I can probably just buy one of these, whatever this ring is, and put a new one right there, and this should work just fine. So that's what I'm going to go do, is buy one of these rings. On the way to the hardware store, I looked and I saw this kind of, I don't know, imitation of the town in a little parklet. Seems to be a bit of a bee magnet. I learned that it's there's some tic-tac-toe here, a little game to play, and it's about the town's creative district. Alright, I'm here at the hardware store, and I think this is my guy right here. Time for an apple. Oh, what the hell, I'll get another one for later. That one's got a little bit of a guy in there. How about find a perfect one? Oh yeah, that looks right. Well, I'm going somewhere I haven't really gone without Deb, which is into the garden, however I get in here. Our own falling fruit issue. Still not quite ripe, but that's getting there. These are getting to be pretty ripe, though. Oh yeah, it's a plum that eats like a cherry. My trip to the hardware store yielded a filter, several plums, an apple, 2 pears, and another plumbing fitting. Now we see if I bought the right size of this. And it's looking like I did. I think I just slide it in there in the box, basically. For this side, pull this off, and there's a filter right there. You know, we might need to paint this grill. I got my new little ring in there. Take over the old ring. Now it's time to bring in the sink. even need caulk in here, except maybe right over here there's a little bit of a bend. I gotta get the drain up and reconnected, like with that. Alright, I think we might have a drain again. Now it is time for the sink mounting clips from Vance Industries. Caught under hoodie ring. That's it. It's in. I'll just do that 3 more times on each of the sides. Alright, I got 4 of those brackets in. Now it's time to connect the water connections, I think. And next I gotta connect these two. I'm gonna put a little of that Teflon tape on here. And I'm guessing that the red one is the hot one, so it's gonna go to my hot over here. Got my first one done. Now I'm ready to tighten up my second one. Now I turn on the angle stops and check for leaks. Yikes. Tommy said turn it all the way over and then back it up like a half a turn. Nothing leaking so far, that's a good sign. Now Kraus has me do a couple things that are really just based on how their technology works. I gotta connect this to the guy. Yeah, I've got that done, and my hose is hanging out in front of the other ones so it'll have a little traveling room. Now I've got to attach this big weight to that hose. You look at this weight and you're like, okay, attach it how? There's a screw over here. What do I do? What do I do? You go to put it on and you're like, oh, it doesn't really go on. It doesn't really go on. And then you realize, oh, I need to just push on this big button on the side. And I'll get it right on there. Solid. Now, what's next? Attach weight G, designate mark F. Remove spray head A. Alright, remove this. This is what Tommy said. This is also unscrew this bad boy and let the water run for a minute. Flush any debris. And he really made a point out of that. Make sure I pull this guy off so. Well, I guess here goes nothing. Yeah, so much for my drain work. Mother of gold. I am going to need to replace this drain. Dang it. Let's see whether this other side's working. Yeah, that one's much better. Well, this is like a half victory. Oh, I've gotten it this far, and this thing is totally just falling apart. I need to get this hose clamp off. Got it. Now it's back to the hardware store with this guy. I think basically I just need this exact same piece, but with a flange up here. Will they have it? Question mark. Today's lunch, we get a salad with almonds, fresh apple, and blue cheese dressing. I have here except where previously I was looked at one piece. Now I'm looking at 2 pieces. And I'm going to need to fit this all in here. Yeah. How's that going to work out? I don't think that's going to work out, but we'll see. Fortunately, I do have my old nuts, so maybe that'll come in handy. This might go like that, but it's still looking way too flipping big for that. So what the F am I going to do about that? And I know I'm going to need to cut this, but I can't cut it. I mean, I have to cut it somewhere down in here. There's just not going to be room for that, so I need to come up with another piece. Been at happy hour, but I went back to Ace and talked it through with the guy about how to cut this one down, and so I got $10 worth of glue in order to modify my $5 part. Yeah, that's gonna go over here for right now. And then, very exciting, we got this Amazon package. I think it's going to be the bathroom fan motor. It is indeed the bathroom fan motor. So that's another project coming up here. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe. There's a bell if you want to get notified. And come back again to see the modification of that sink drain piece.